This is day 3 of elementary school fire alarm system upgrade. If you haven't seen the previous 2 videos, we are replacing the entire fire alarm system in this elementary school. This building was constructed in the mid-90s in Canada and was built specifically for hard of hearing students. This building is no longer occupied by that occupancy, so some things are being changed with the fire alarm system, but I won't go too in depth with that as I talked about that in the very first video in great detail. We are changing the entire fire alarm system from a conventional EST QS4 system to a Notifier NFS2-3030 addressable fire alarm system in this building. This is an unsprinklered building and we are replacing every heat detector and smoke detector with new smoke detectors for the exception of a few devices and changing all the pull stations, and we are also changing all of the old strobes and they are either being replaced with new horn strobes or being deleted, as well as the old bells. With all that said, let's get into day 3 of the upgrade. Alrighty, it's now time for day 3 of the fire alarm system upgrade. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday, so that's either going to be starting to work on the second floor or figuring out these issues that we were having on the first floor and figure out why we have these dual addresses, invalid replies. And some of those invalid replies might be because the program has been dumped in for the second floor. I got to find out, and those devices aren't there yet, but the dual addresses are certainly a problem. So I'm not sure if we're going to have the guy that actually created the addresses and planned it all out go deal with his problem, or if we're all going to deal with it before we move on to the second floor. We'll see. I won't fully explain the system because I already did in my first video. I did a long walk around, but this is our panel. Notifier 3030. We have 3 ISO 6s, 2 XP6 CAs for the NACs to power them, and an XP6 RA, I believe it is, for the relays. This is our annunciator that's just test fitted here, going to be at the front door. There is going to be an ACM 24AT like this at the panel, but these 2 will be at the front door. Everything in this school has been changed to FSP 951, and these N-MPS-SA pull stations, I believe, is the model number for these guys here. So yeah, guys, that's how we are looking. Yeah, so I'm going to be starting on the second floor, I guess, now, and doing bells and strobes and pulse, you name it, whatever. Just go and see what we can get into. We're going to start by doing a couple pull stations and then some bells and strobes. And I'm not really going to stick to one thing. I'm just going to kind of do whatever I see as I feel like it. Check that we have right polarity. White should be positive, and I can't because we have an open loop, or it hasn't been put on the isolator yet. One or the other there. You know, this zone is, maybe it's not.
They've been really good in the school of black and blue team. It's been actually really good for not being like, you know.
Now, as far as these pull stations, if you were coming from the last video, you'd already know how I feel about these. I am not a fan of these. They're fine once they're installed, especially in a gym or something they're going to get hit. But other than that, they suck, and they suck for a few reasons. First of all, they're a pain to set the address. Second of all, the resistors break off easy in them. Third of all, you can't see the activity of the device. They also take up a lot of room in the box. and they are quite small, so they don't cover paint or missing paint from the previous device. I'm now taking down that bell, replacing it with a horn strobe, and we're going to delete the strobe, so that just means take the old one down and splice the circuit right together, as the strobes and the bells are on the same circuit. Now we are going to replace a smoke detector. I kind of jumped around in this right here. You have to remember there's 3 or 4 of us in the field changing devices, so you're not going to see everything. You're just going to see what I did. And I did a little bit of everything at the start here, and then I did mostly replacing horn strobes or installing horn strobes. This smoke detector here is one that was added. This one was in front of a stairwell, and there wasn't one before, and technically we didn't have to add one because this is a grandfathered in system. However, the engineer strongly advised us that it would be a really good idea to add one there because there's nothing in that corridor, and it's right outside a stairwell. So we did add that one. Here you can see doing another bell, taking the bell down. I'll put the new horn strobe up where the old bell was, and then do the same thing with the strobe. I'm coming up with these voiceovers as I do them, so I'm trying to come up with information to tell you guys that could be beneficial. And I am setting the strobes to 110 candela, as that's what the previous ones were, so that's what I was told to do. And I'm setting all of the horns to low volume, as this school has so many horns, and we're going to be adding a horn in each classroom, so the corridors don't need to be quite that loud, because their corridors aren't being relied on to be loud enough to be heard in the classrooms. This is going to be a ceiling mount strobe in the bathroom. I have 2 bathrooms on the second floor to do. Here is the second bathroom and the second ceiling mount strobe. I didn't do the heat detector because the other guy I'm working with has been going around doing the heat detectors. Sometimes it's beneficial to just get in the groove of what you're doing and have everybody responsible for one thing, so you're not switching tools. You can kind of get in the hang of it and work sometimes more effectively depending on the scenario of what you're doing. And I did that with mostly horns. I don't think he did any horns, and I did the pull stations too, as there were quite few. You can see here there is also a heat detector in these little electrical closets, or was a heat detector, now a smoke detector. In the elevator machine room here, we did already add a strobe in here. This was something that the engineer wanted us to add to this system, as well as future boxes for elevator recall and elevator control, that sort of stuff for fire mode. And I don't know why these haven't really been tightened, but I didn't put this in. I also would have gone with something a little bigger than looks like 1-inch nipples, because that doesn't give you enough room to get the cover plates on, I don't believe, but oh well, you can put them on without the cover plates. This is just for future if the elevator ever gets upgraded. I would have very much preferred the NBG12 LXs to be installed in this building instead of these NPSs. All of us here would have agreed on that. The biggest issue with them is setting the address. You actually have to unscrew the module to be able to do it. These also, this isn't really a flaw with them, just an interesting thing, is if you're creating a program, don't put these in as pull stations or you will get an invalid reply. These have different type code in the program. They're not a pull station. These, I believe they come up as a mini mod or a it's something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's not configured as just a pull station. I believe that's different if you're running an auto program on a panel. Then for one, you don't have to worry about it, as it will figure out what it is for the most part, but they do come up as something different than you'd usually see with an NBG12LX. Really, these pull stations are good because they're robust, and you can add a flip-up cover to make them double action, I believe is the word for that, for having to lift up the cover first before putting it down. You can see here I am removing the end-of-line resistor, as now that the system is addressable, all of the end-of-line resistors on the initiating circuits need to be removed. And on the bell circuits, like what we're working on right now, they still need to have an end-of-line resistor because it's still supervised with an end-of-line resistor. However, the resistor value will still need to be changed, as the old resistors that were to work with the EST booster panels and the EST Quick Start QS4 are not what the Notifier addressable cards need. I have 11 classrooms up here where one strobe will be replaced with a horn strobe and the other will be deleted and spliced through, blanked off. So I've got 11 of these to do up here. That means I have 11 horn strobes to install. I actually have to remove 22 strobes because each classroom had 2 strobes, and one gets replaced with a horn strobe and the other one gets deleted and spliced through because we don't need 2 anymore. The building was originally built beyond any strobe requirements that we even have now, and because it's no longer meant for that occupancy, it's no longer used for that occupancy, it doesn't need to comply with those codes for a building strictly for people that cannot hear. It's different now that the building has the same occupancy you would see in any other elementary school. It's not specifically meant for hearing impaired people. We might actually already going a little bit above and beyond because the last 2 new schools that were built did not have strobes in the classrooms, just horns, but that may have changed since.
Well, I have, look, 24-volt transformer there, properly enclosed one.
That's for the control for the doors.
It goes up to there. You can see those relays. I didn't know why we weren't using these again, but these were powered by 110, weren't they? Or should be on there, except I don't know what the non-open circuit was.
Well, I just heard the air handlers come on though when you tied that in. I think they went separate, one and then the other one.
0.4 amps is all we're drawing on all that. That makes sense. Auto 0.4 amps.
With the exception of what's actually going on in the panel room itself, the electrical room, all the work that's being done at this point is all on the second floor. The whole first floor of the building, initiating, audio, visual, that is all done. The second floor has a lot of work in pretty much every aspect. There was a lot of initiating that had to be done at this time, which some of the other guys, 2 other guys were working on that, and I was working on the audio visual stuff on the second floor. Now, we also have some other things on the second floor, like HVAC, duct smokes, and this mechanical room that has some pretty difficult spots to get to. I'll show you that a little later on in this video. You will see that. My coworker down in the electrical room was working on the power that powers the coil voltage, that gives the voltage on the coils for the air handlers. Those are a normally powered contactor, so when the fire alarm goes off, it drops out the power. They're actually on the same 24-volt AC as what powers the door mags to hold the doors open, so he had to put a new transformer in because the old one had exposed terminals for the 24-volt AC side, so it was kind of a bad setup. So that's all fixed up, done proper. This is now a stairwell smoke detector that I have to get to. So these are on their own zone. Every stairwell has to be zoned separate, same as the elevator shaft, which we are waiting on an elevator technician to be able to open the doors, and we can stand on top of the elevator car to be able to change that smoke detector in there. We are getting rid of the dual addresses, trying to go through them, checking our invalids, which a lot of them are related to the dual addresses, like something being set one higher, creating a dual address, and something missing. And we have a ground fault coming from loop 2, which is going to be one of our bell circuits. That's what all it's running. And also ground fault on the SLC loop 1. So I have to narrow that down and figure that out at some point. Yeah, man, this is crazy. I gotta get a video of this.
I say we leave it conventional.
Yeah, I like that. How did you... Wow. I'm getting this in my video. So there's a heat way up there. Duct smoke here's got to get changed. One there, which is going to be horrible. And then these ones, I don't know how we replace the sampling tubes. I think we'll have to make a hole in the wall because this one is here and the other one is way up there. So whatever. I mean, that's one thing, but getting the sampling tubes is a whole nother crazy thing to try and get those in there. How's it going up there? Yeah, that's crazy. You're crazy. I mean, this one's not bad here. I think we'll be able to get that one okay.
The sawzall and clear path. fix the other shit later.
Get your gas pipes out of my way. Cut them off.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Get your gas and your water out of here.
Just give that give the seismic thing a good kick out there first. Shut that gas down. All right, they want me over there. You have fun up there. This shit's crazy. Where are you boys at? Hello?
No way. Let's just take this off.
Change.
You gotta come
Is that a zone resistor?
You gotta come one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that was 47 blank plates and they're all gone.
That's kicked off.
Peter still got some bells and things to do.
Other than the AHUs that aren't done.
Okay, so
Why isn't that one for mechanical room not?
so we'll do the AHUs tomorrow and the elevator.
In the mechanical
Well,
room?
I mean we have to get the elevator at some point. That's what I'm saying. Any picture of that then?
Tuscadero, she's all clean.
That's girly. Whoa, crazy driver.
Turns on a dime.
It does.
If you wanted any more heat.
That cleared.
Oh, so that does clear. So let me put other ones on to make sure though.
That ground fault cleared.
Okay, yeah, but I could have another one of these. I need a light. My flashlight back there. I can't see the fucker. There's another one back on.
Nope. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say the ground fault's not back.
No, we're gonna give that a minute. And we're gonna do one at a time just to make sure we only have one ground fault.
Well, the one light that is up is for the card behind it,
Yeah,
which that would be our bell circuit.
that's the bells, both bell circuits here.
We plug another one in.
Yeah.
I think it would have came up by now, don't you?
Can't see it. I don't even know if I'm in that hole. I'm putting the flashlight in there. There you go. It's nice that they have these that you can take them off and do that. Oh,
Yeah, there it's back.
we got 2 ground fault loops.
So which circuit was that?
Wait a sec.
Okay.
Just want to check this last one. Oh, it's fucking got a ground too. Or did it? Those should both clear if they're off. Wait till they clear. I'll try the fire one. And that gives us zone 2.
That's clear.
And I'm gonna do the zone 1 first.
Put zone 1 back. So we're just narrowing down which ones
Yeah.
are the ground fault.
Hopefully that one stays away. Then it should be zone 2. 1, 2. And whatever wires I got on zone 5.
So we think it's zone 2 possibly.
And zone 5.
And zone 5. Oh crap. And a bell.
So what we have here next is I wrote it down as I did it. Yeah, so zone 5 is zone 5. So we got zone 2 and zone 5 with a ground fault.
So what happened?
We have zone 2 and zone 5 with a ground fault.
Zone 2 and 5?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
So what's zone 2?
This is still holding okay. So each one of these is an isolator. So you can unplug one isolated branch, which used to be a zone at a time.
What's the date today? 20.
You put that back on and then go check for ground?
Sure, so you're plugging zone 2 back in.
Yeah.
I thought, where's 5?
There.
Oh, so it's 2 and
2,
5.
3, 4, 5. So 2.
That's plugged in.
Oh, there's the ground. It's tomorrow's Thursday. I might be asking for OT on Thursday. Should we work OT today?
Huh?
Should we work OT today? Did you guys golf yesterday?
Yep. Go today.
It's gonna come up zone 2.
What is this? How many volts did you make out of this? 18?
Yeah, about 17 volts. That was our test first to get here.
You could literally drive at 12. What did you drive with this?
Well, we were just your initiating device to make sure. Let's not come back.
It's not back yet.
It'll come back. Don't you worry.
46 troubles. Oh, is the trouble out? Or the ground fault?
No, we don't know yet. You gotta give it a minute. It takes a while to come in and out. Be nice if Zone 2 didn't come back.
Self-healing. Well, no, it's worse if it's a ghost one, actually. I'd rather it come back than it be a ghost.
You gotta give it time to go, and you gotta, that's why I did each one, not one at a time.
What is this?
You gotta leave them all off, so you know. So you take one off at a time, leave it off.
What zone is this?
That one's for bell.
But you just take it right off like that.
Yeah, and leave it off and do one at a time till it goes away.
Yeah.
You give it enough time. If you don't give it
This one is referring to the card behind, which in this case we can see it, but you can't always see the card behind.
But that 2 didn't come back up.
So this one on the front is referring to this front card.
Only zone 5.
You're plugging 5 back in?
Yeah, I think so, because 2's not coming up.
Alright.
But we remember to try 2 and 5 if we have a problem. We go back to...
There it is.
Yeah.
What?
That came quick.
Zone 5? Yeah, I'm wondering if yeah.
So, up Zone 5, I'll take it off.
You took it back off?
Yeah. That's what I'm
Just to confirm?
Well, I know it's it. I just,
Yeah, clear.
I want to see how long it
Zone
stays.
5 is the big one, isn't it, Wayne?
Well, zone 5 is the happy one because that's the nice high
is that the library?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
stop.
for those two that you put on, there's something grounded.
That's like the...
It could be Zone 5. What about the 2 lower ones?
Who knows?
Yeah, it would be.
Lower ones
It would be the lower side too.
One,
Well, it's just 2 in there, right?
So now we gotta start looking around the affected zone for the ground fault. Alright, here we are, one more day done, and we at least know the zone of the ground fault. Unfortunately, it's one of the larger zones, so one of the guys wants to break it up halfway and work your way down. That's sort of a normal way to approach it. The other guy wants to start with the pull stations, which is also a valid decision because the pull stations are such crappy designs with how close they are to the box and causing ground fault. So I also understand that perspective. We'll see how we actually go about it, but we have to find the ground fault. There is a good chance it is a pull station, just knowing how they're designed. So we'll hopefully find that. We also need to... One of the other guys has his zone he was working in of bells to do. And we have that whole mechanical room, which the mechanical room is a little bit crazy, as those duct smokes obviously went in before many other parts of walls and equipment went in place. So to replace those long 5-foot sampling tubes could be fun. Not fun in a good way. Fun as in that's going to be crazy. We'll probably have to cut a hole in the wall just to get the sampling tube out. So I'm probably gonna. I don't want to take that on alone. That's a big job. So I'll probably work with one of the other guys in there. We also have that detector way up on the ceiling, which you have to do some gymnastics to. And I don't know what I'll stand on. It's like there's strut and there's a big 2-inch gas pipe, which I guess I'll stand on the strut and the gas pipe. Sounds sketchy, but it's 2-inch threaded. It'll take it. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully we get it done tomorrow. We kind of need to get it done. Then that will leave us with Friday for a verification. We have 1 week to do this job. And it's a big school as far as devices go. Luckily, it's not too problematic. I mean, there are problems, but I couldn't ask for a lot better. I mean, this is sort of just how it goes. Ground faults are never that fun, because anything metal is a possibility that it could be, but you can narrow them down fairly quick if you know what you're doing. And we have the bell circuit ground fault, which the tech was saying that could be a reverse polarity would cause that to read as a ground fault. I don't have any experience with that happening before, so I'm not exactly sure what she's saying about that, but anyways, maybe. And yeah, so the bell circuit, there might be a reverse polarity or a ground fault. So I guess I'll have to retrace my steps. At least these new devices come off pretty pretty easy. It's not like taking a bell down where you got to take the gong off and unscrew this and try not to lose these little 832 or 1032s, whatever they are. These horn strobers are easy. One little screw pop off. You can visually see what you need to see, so that's not too bad. Anyways, I'll stop rambling on here. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. I don't know how it turned out. I have a feeling it's not great, but if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Any comments, questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section. And if you do enjoy my channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you are interested, I do have an Instagram account at Pickle700 for bonus content, stuff posted earlier than you'd see it on the YouTube channel, that sort of thing. Alrighty, guys, make sure to come back for part 4 if you're interested. Alrighty, guys, thanks for watching.